I'm a broke down wreck with a ball and chain, just sitting in the kitchen with my fortune and fame.
Tomorrow I am planning on trying to bake bread. My starter's been going for 2 weeks now. I can either keep going with my half cup of flour addition a day, and that would give me a half batch of bread, or I can double my starter and make like a full loaf. So I'm gonna double my starter today. Stir up the hooch. Still gonna start with 1 cup of our starter. Now normally we would add a half cup of water and a half cup of flour just to keep the starter going. Instead we're gonna add a whole cup of water and then a whole cup of flour too. And then we leave our double batch starter somewhere relatively warm for 24 hours. Once the starter's going, it doesn't have to be as warm, it seems like. So I'm just gonna leave it here in the house. Today is the day that we've all been waiting for. We're going to make some bread, sourdough. An important note about baking bread is that it's important to have all of the ratios correct, and the most accurate way to do this is with a scale. So I'm going to be weighing out my ingredients here.
Like a preacher throwing dice instead of seeds on the soil. There's a lady and her lover and they're covered in oil, slipping down through the cracks with weird aggravating phase. Cause I'm better off stakes, got a load of the cop. Get my red feet back, do some air guitar. Cause I'm running from the end, yeah, it's inside of my head, on my bed.
Here's our dough that's risen up from being in the warm greenhouse. Now we're going to take that, take it out, form it into a ball, and put it on the proofing cloth.
Just sitting in the kitchen with my fortune and fame. There's a monkey in a mask.
Now it goes back in the greenhouse to ferment for another 4 hours. Little olive oil. Now, here comes the tricky part. You gotta get a good layer of coals. That's the most important part. Now, I just try to rake everything to one side. You gotta try and get your rack on the highest level. You slide in your bread loaf. Got my loaf on the rack as far away from the coals as I can, so it'll get baked and not like burned, hopefully. Close the flue, close the damper. Not looking bad. I'm gonna take this and flip it over. Put the loaf back in. And right now, this fire would die down too much. Now, scrape up some coals over here. The oak bark is great because it won't flare up and like burn the bread, but it'll just kind of turn into coals and keep it baking.
Storm, blowing dust through the kitchen while you're standing in your high heels.
Now it's time for the moment of truth. Oh my god. I could smell that when I cut it open. Go with my bread, I made a little bit of a kind of pesto stuff here. I used garlic greens instead of just garlic, so I think that'll be good. Whoa, bread. I can't tell you the smell. The smell of the bread is so good. And I also shot a pigeon today. So we're gonna put a little pigeon on there. Oh. Gotta taste it. Oh my god. That is the best thing since sliced bread. It's crunchy and moist and a little tangy. How amazing, like, nice bread is. Holy cow. Well worth my time. And with the pigeon and the pesto, satisfaction.